What is up, Wholesale to Million family? Today I'm bringing you guys back. I'm bringing you guys a powerhouse, but we got a lady in the house. Now I know, there's not a whole lot of women out there doing this business, or not that we hear of. We always see a bunch of men, a bunch of dudes. But you guys, I'm bringing her on to empower the ladies, the women, to let you know, man, that there are ladies out there that are crushing it in this business and making a boatload of money doing it. So you guys put your thumbs, man, put your hands together. If this video add any value to you, I know she's going to drop a lot of bombs. Be sure to smash the thumbs up. Also, too, if you're new to the channel, welcome to the Wholesale to Million family. Boom, smash the subscribe button. Make sure you turn on the bell notification so when I upload a new video or when I go live, which I do every single Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard for a live cold call role play. But you guys, no further ado, help me welcome Sandy. What's going on, playa?
Hey man, I love the energy. I need whatever juice you're drinking. Give me some of that stuff.
Jasmine tea. I know a lot of people ask me so what I drink. So
Yeah.
I don't do coffee a lot, but just tea.
Okay, I gotta give that a try, man. Thank you, thank you. I'm so honored. Thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate it, and let's get rocking. Hopefully, I can share something to your people here that can help them.
You look amazing, Sandy. So for those of you who don't know your story, let's start with a little bit of your story, Sandy.
Oh yeah, man. Sometimes it gets me teary-eyed eyes a bit. So if I cry, please forgive me.
I like that.
So I grew up in Haiti, right? So I came into this country in 1990. All right, 9 years old. My parents were actually already here because they were migrant farm workers. So my mom and my dad used to come here on a visa way before, like back in the 80s, way before they ever brought us to this country. But when they finally made it permanent, they sent me and my sister to live with my aunt, we bounced around from some family member's house for a minute. And then they came here, they started working really hard, save up some money. They working in the cane field, the corn fields, packing I'm talking about like boxes of corns per day for about $16 to $20 for 16 hours worth of work, yo. So if you can't imagine like how long it took them to save money to bring me and my sister here, it took them a while between like saving money, borrowing money. And then they found this organization that used to kind of match people from Haiti, like kids. And, there are some groups that did adults too, but they would match the person from Haiti to somebody that was already here in the country, right? That looks a lot like them. And then what you would do is basically study that person's whole life, right? Study that person's life. And then that's how we get through immigration. Right. So basically someone who was like a legal alien, had a green card or already a citizen or born into the country. So that's how we got here, man, this organization. So I remember when I was 9, my uncle came to pick me up and say, hey, you coming into this country. I was excited, happy because, I was a kid, man. I was ready to see my mom. It had been years. And this is before, yeah, man, before cell phone days. So it's not like we could pick up the phone and call mom. Yeah, literally the only way, like in all these years that we were able to hear my mom's voice was by recording a cassette tape. And then they would find somebody that's going home to visit and send the cassette tape in Haiti. And then that was our form of communication,
Dang, girl.
So yeah, so then they took us to these people's, my uncle took me to these people's houses, and when we went there, it was kind of awful. It was a big mansion, but in the back of it was kind of like this outhouse, right? It was like dirt floor. They had to be about 20 kids, in this one room, eating out of like the dirt. I mean, it was really awful. But all these people, I realized, I was a kid, but later on, I was thinking all these people, they were there for the same reason I was, so the family members they bring it to this house, and literally how long you stay there, depending on how fast of a learner you are, because you have to learn whoever's identity you're going to take on to get to this country. You have to learn it, and they have to make sure that you know it inside and out before they take you to embassy. Because if that child or that person going through the immigration, if you fail, that's the risk of them getting arrested. You know, so you have to stay there. You have to learn everything in English, like whoever this person is, what school they're going to, their names, family members, you know, everything, basically their entire life. So because of me, I was lucky enough, my godmother used to read to me in English. So I picked on quick, right? I mean, even though my English sucked, but I picked on it really quick. And I spent maybe a couple of weeks there. And then they finally got me through the country to come and see my mom. And then that's when it all started. I came from, you know, being poor in Haiti to coming to even a poorer town here in the United States, you know. Grew up in Belle Glade, farm town, very poor town. I mean, you're expected to basically grow up in a gang, you know, basically dying, you know, like literally you're getting out of there dead or broke or in jail. You know what I'm saying? So that's what happens to a lot of our classmates, you know, growing up there. But, you know, so after I graduated, moved to Tampa. You know, I used to watch the infomercials, so that's what got me interested in real estate, because I didn't have a role model, you know, who was business savvy, who was, you know, real estate entrepreneur. So, but I was always kind of like that kid, you know, that said, hey, look, I want a better life for myself. I'm gonna be rich one day. I'm gonna make some money, you know. So I was just always that kid, you know. So basically, I started watching the infomercials, and I used to see Carlton Sheets, you know, no money down. And so I was like, all right, so this is the way to go. So 18, I went to take my real estate license, right? And so I got on a payment plan because I didn't have enough money. So what happened was it was like the last class, the class before the last, I needed $45 to finish up the payments, and I didn't have it. So I couldn't finish the class, right? So I was like, okay, forget about it. 2 years later, which I was, you know, like now that I think about it, that very first class, I didn't know what the hell that man was talking about. I was so confused. Like literally, I used to sit there, I'm like, I don't know what he's talking. Everything was like, I mean, literally was like a foreign language, okay? So 2 years later though, I saved up, I paid the entire thing up front, took the class again, passed it, and like to brag about passing the state exam the first time around. You know, that's my bragging rights. Okay, so so I took the class, passed the exam, and then I went to work for ERA, the Polo Group. And what happened was within 6 months of that, I had a buddy of mine that used to do, he was a loan officer. He was like, Sandy, you know, we're making more money on this end. Come on and join me. And so finally I gave in. Within 6 months, I went to another company to become a loan officer. I kept my real estate license, I still have my real estate license active till this day. But I went there and I was like, okay, so this is how people are getting the money part together, right? And so that opened my eyes. And then from there, I started going to investor meetings. I met this investor. He had like 10 properties he was going to unload. So I took down all 10. I got financing for 80% of it, let them hold 20%, got 100% financing, basically got into those properties, no money down. He introduced me to some more investors who wanted to get rid of more properties, and I took down more properties. But like also what happened was, and this investor, he was actually a rehabber too. He was a handyman rehabber, like he gets down and dirty. So me and him became friends, and you know, I started taking down rehabs and started doing rehab deals, and he used to manage the entire projects for me. Basically, he taught me a lot. You know, so I did a ton of rehab, had some rentals. And then what happened was, you fast forward to around 2008-ish. And at this point, I started going through, you know, apartment complex, you know, boot camp to get multifamily and things like that. And I was like thinking, okay, I have enough single family homes. I'm going to sell them off. I want to get into a multifamily. So I literally, before all the crash hit, I sold most of the properties I had. I lost about 5 of them that I didn't sell, but I sold all of it. So I had all this cash. And then a buddy of mine, that I had met from a closing, and we actually became really good friends. We're still friends this day. He was like, hey, Sandy, you know, why don't you, and he was also a hard money lender, like lending other people money. He approached me. He said, look, while you're looking for this multi-unit, because the, you know, due diligence process is a lot longer for that, right? So he says, let me lend this money out to you. For me, it made perfect sense. At the time, I wasn't thinking, I was like, sure. And then, you know, we buddies. So I was still in my 20s now. Remember, I'm in my 20s, new, I mean, you know, so I did those deals with him, and I didn't have any document signed. You know, basically I trusted him to do everything, right? Get the collaterals, you know, paperwork done. I'm like, you know, I trust you, we buddies, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, long story short, all that cash, I lost it, right? Between mistakes with him and mistake with some other people, not, you know, crossing my T's and dotting my I's, and not keeping my eye on my money and what's happening with it, not making sure I have collateral, made those mistakes. So even though,
was it, Sandy?
oh my gosh, $800 something thousand, spread it out. Yes. So
oh my God.
Yeah. And with this one gentleman, it was like 230 and then 70 here. So altogether, I lost everything. Just trusting other people with money. And it's crazy because I had known better. I knew better, but I didn't know better, because I always told myself, I used to tell myself, well, you know, I mean, partnership is okay in certain scenarios, but the idea of letting somebody else control your money, you know what I mean? It's one thing when you lose your own money. It's another thing when somebody else loses it for you, right? I kind of knew better, but, you know, still I didn't know better. But, you know, so I chop it out to, you know, a hard lesson to learn, you know, a hard lesson to learn now. So now fast forward, now I lose everything. No money, everything is gone. I am depressed. Like, let me tell you something. I am depressed. I feel like I have felt the biggest thing that hurt me so much at the time was, you know, I wanted to get my mom a house, you know what I mean? And I wanted to do all these things for my parents who'd been struggling. And then I said, you know what? Let me do this deal first, and then I'll have more to do that for my mom. And then boom, I lost it all. So I was so hard on myself about that. And I literally felt like the biggest failure. I was like down on myself, I mean, for a long time about it, you know what I mean? And then one day, and then I ended up moving into the hood. Moving into the hood. So now this is St. Pete hood, not the same hood I grew up in, but it was very freaking similar. It was so similar. Oh my God. And you know, and it's funny, that apartment that I ended up moving into in the hood, I had to eventually, when I got myself back on my foot, I moved out because somebody broke in it. You know what I mean? It was broken into, like stuff was everywhere. Like, oh my gosh, it was crazy. So long story short, man, you know, in that process, lots of prayers, and then lots of, you know, trying to read books and listen to people and trying to get my mojo back, trying to get that confidence back, trying to get something back that's going to push me out of that funk. You know what I'm saying? And so doing all that I can to get out of that mode. And then, you know, I got to the point, it's like, okay, Sandy, you know, you've been through this, you've done this before. Okay, now it's time. You can't sit here in this misery forever. You know what I mean? You just can't. And so once I got to that point, I got out, I got in the car, I started driving around to look for deals. And then sure enough, next street over, there was a for sale by owner sign. And so I called that owner, and I always know, look, listen, always ask if you have more properties for sale. Okay. You don't just say, do you have anything else for sale? So I called him, that house was available. I said, do you have anything else for sale? And he said, I got 3 more properties, 4 total. I say, hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Amen.
Yes, I did. I said, hallelujah. Let me tell you. And then so I put all those properties under contract. Very nice guy too. He's still my Facebook friend still this day. Like, he was so cool.
Wow.
Yes, really cool. So I put those properties on the contract, right? So now I got to move them. So let me tell you something. I put some heels on, make myself look pretty, and I took some Bennett sign. I put Bennett sign out. Okay, I went and put some Bennett sign out. Okay, it's 11 o'clock at night. I'm putting out Bennett signs by myself, and then I still have had investor friends like connection. They're still doing deals. I went to their office. I'm like, you coming with me right now, get in my car, you know, so they actually made me get in their car. I'm like, okay, let's go. So we went to those properties, sold them 2 of the properties, right? And then the other one I sold on from the Bennett side, and one was sold off of Craigslist. Oh, wow. Within 2 weeks. Yes, 20 grand. And let me tell you something. At that time, my bank account was negative, right? My bank account was negative. And because, you know, I grew up on welfare, like with my parents, you know, she had no choice with welfare. So one of the hardest things for me to do at the time was to get on food stamp I did food stamp for 6 months. That was very hard for me because I was like, oh no, not me, never. You know what I mean? Because I grew up on that. And even my mom, you know, I know some people take advantage of the system instead of actually really working, but like even my mom, when she was on it, she first working in the cornfields all day making 20 bucks. And then her next job from that was a $4 per hour job. The moment that lady got a job that was paying her, I think it was like $8, she got off of it. It was $8 per hour. She got off of it. She was like, So, you know, I was, you know, that was a very hard thing. But, you know, I did it for 6 months. And then after those money came through, I cut it off. You know, I was like, You know, and some of my friends were like, girl, why don't you keep it going? No, thank you. That will not be.
Sandy, what an amazing story. Holy smoke. I thought my story was kind of, you know, okay, but yours absolutely Sandy, yours really good. I really, really enjoyed the story. So now, Sandy, here's some questions. You know, I also came to, you know, I also came to America at the age of 9. Both of my parents are also work in the rice field and all that. And when we got to America, Sandy, I was picking, you know, corn, strawberries, all that.
So you know.
And yes. So we came over here, you know, welfare, food stamp. I know all of that. We used to go to, what is it called? The place where you get in line and they give you some food. What's that called?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. So basically you get in line and then they'll actually give you food. Yes. Yeah.
Because like, you're talking about like one of those non-profit like places like Metropolitan Ministries, like those food
something like that,
shelters and
something like that. But we used to go like every Friday, and we'd be so happy. We're so happy. We're like, oh my God, America! You know, we're like, oh, America! That's why America is so amazing, right? So so now the thing, Sandy, I also gotten to the point where, you know, I think so. One thing you did that was really, really good was you sold the property before the crash, right? So that was really good.
I'm telling you, some people thought I was a genius. I'm like, really? No, I'm not. They was like, oh, how did you know this was gonna happen? I didn't know shit. I really just knew that I wanted to get an apartment complex. You know what I'm saying? So I just had that goal. So I sold it, and like some of my friends, they thought I just kind of knew something. I'm like, no, I actually really didn't know anything. I wish I did.
No, so Sandy, I also got into the time where I almost got myself in. I was fix and flip, right? I got myself in trouble and almost lost everything. So unlike you lost everything. I was fortunate enough I didn't. And throughout the time, Sandy, I think 4 days. 4 days I was sleeping maybe 1 or 2 hours, and I cry myself to sleep.
Yeah.
Because I was depressed, sad. I was down. I was beating myself up.
Yeah.
You know, saying, oh my God, it's like, why didn't I see that? It's like, it's such an, like, you know what I mean? It's like, you're like, you shouldn't make that mistake. It's like,
right.
Like, you know, you shouldn't, right?
Exactly.
But a lot of times, you guys, when you're in the game, it's hard to see it.
Yeah, it really is.
In the game, it's like a poker game. When you're in it, you know, people said, Khang, if I were you, I would have hold or I would have fold.
Yeah.
Right? But the outside people see it. But for you, you're in the game.
Yeah, it's hard.
You know, it's hard.
Somebody said to me, you know, it's hard to see the picture when you're in the frame.
Mm.
Yeah.
Very, very good. I like that. I like that a lot. Now, let me ask you, Sandy, because most people, when they fail, it's so hard to pick themselves back up again and actually move on and actually, you know, and become even better than they were before.
Yeah.
So how did you got over that, Sandy?
So it had to be, I believe in personal development, right? Like I'm constantly, you know, I'm constantly studying, like every day I'm doing something to build, you know, basically self-worth. A lot of people have issue with that. And sometimes you don't, even the most confident people, because sometimes, like even for me, like some people say, oh, you're so confident, but there's also a deep, you know, issue of self-worth that sometimes, and you have to go deep. Like I believe in going deep. You have to go from childhood, you know, what is it that you really believe? Because even people, I realize, that achieve a certain amount of success, but sometimes they get here and it's hard to get there, and it's hard to get there to the next step. And I've struggled through all those process. And then when I have to go through, it's like, well, what do I really believe? You know, what do I really believe? Do I really feel like I'm worth it? Like, and what are the things in me that's making me feel like I'm not worth it enough? Like, for example, even just from wholesaling to taking just a little, you know, like I used to just go for the quick 2,000 assignment fees or 3,000 assignment fees. But then I'm like, well, why am I just doing that when I really could make 10 or 20? You know what I'm saying? And it's just really, a lot of it has to do with self-worth. Self-worth. Why is it that my buddy over there, who's a man, who's a dude, he take the same deal and go make 10, but I'm okay with 2 or 3, and I could have done the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So even just getting out of those type of situations is just doing a lot of studies, a lot of stuff, and reminding myself that I am valuable. What is good about me? What is it that I know? I don't have to know everything, but what's already in me is really good, and it's good enough, you know? And then, so just getting all of that, and then prayer, and then, you know what I'm saying, having some good support system around you to also help you remind of the good stuff, because there are some people too, they go through a failure, but they have bad people around them who's celebrating the failure instead of helping them get out of that. You don't need that kind of people around you, you know? So it's a combination of these things and working, and then getting to your center. And sometimes, like, look, if you got to remind yourself that, look, I'm the shit, like I'm that good shit. You know what I'm saying? Remind yourself that, to get yourself out of it. You know what I'm saying? Say, I'm good, I'm able to do this. And then too, but be honest with yourself about what you have to learn to now to get out of it. You know, you got to be honest with yourself. What is it that I have to work on right now? What do I need right now, whether it be to boost my self-esteem or to get me a certain set of skills or whatever it is? What do I need to do? You know? So those are the things that works for me, that continues to work for me. And I, you know, like I do affirmation stuff to remind myself all the time that I am good, I am valuable, I am worthy. You know what I mean? And hell, you know, like we all have different skills, but look, I can do some things. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to tell yourself these things.
Girl, wow. So let me tell you guys, and I don't know. So let me tell you guys. So Sandy, also, so I went through that tough time too, right? And you see, a lot of time, what it is you guys, self-awareness is very, very important. Because someone learns something a certain way, like some people, they can read a book and they can, you know, and they can do it. For me, I'm more of a hands-on visual, like I need to see it. So let me tell you, and I don't think that I have shared this before, but when I was going through the tough time, I was crying to sleep, and I was depressed, and I tried, right? I listened to the motivation and all that. At the time, honestly, you guys, you know, I was so vulnerable that I was like, can this just, you know, can this just go away? Can somebody just come and just solve all this for me?
Right.
But what I'm telling you is no one can. But at the time I was so vulnerable, that's all I wanted.
Right.
Like you felt like you just couldn't do it anymore, right? And you just want somebody to come and help you to solve the problem. You just want it to go away, and you're willing to pay whatever the price is. And let me tell you guys something. You know, the biggest problem that you ever have in your life is you cannot solve with money.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest problem that you cannot, like, which is health, right? Health, you know, think of waking up like you have caught with a disease that cannot be cured. No matter what, how much money you got, that's the biggest problem, right? The biggest problem, or the problem you cannot solve with money. As long as you can solve it with money, man, you should be A-okay. Now, Sandy, let me tell you what helped me get over that whole time that I was depressed. For me, it wasn't motivation. At the time, I was like, well, it's easy, right? You have all this thing going in your head. Well, obviously, it's easy for you to say because you're at that place and this and that, right? Because you got all this good things going on for you. So it's easy to say it than it is to do it. Whatever it is, you guys, it's always easy to say it than actually going through it and actually doing it.
Right.
So what really helped me, Sandy, was two persons. One is my mentor. When I listened to all his failure, and that's what to me, that's what helped me. It wasn't the motivation, but the people's failure. And the other guy was, I built such a good relationship with him. He's in California. And listen to all his failure. He said, Khang, I went through the same thing as you. But when I listened to them, all their failure that they go through, Sandy, and I compare it to mine. And I took that and I compared to mine. I said, well, Khang, this is what you're going through. This is what they're going through. And if you can't get through this, how can you become what you wanted to become, right?
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Because you know what? To whom much is given, much is expected. So that's just part of it. If you cannot handle that on this level, then you definitely can't handle it on this level.
Right.
So, yeah, you're right. And you know what's funny? Like, based on what you say too, even like for me, and I'm on a journey of growth, you know what I mean? And because the more I grow, the more then I can contribute to others, right? So I'm on this journey of growth. And sometimes I think, you know, and I have to remind myself of this as we grow. It's like, I think I heard T.D. Jakes said it, you know, for every new level, there's a new devil, right? So there's always opposition that you will face as you grow. And then sometimes you will forget about that. You know, that's life. That's just what happens. You think it's just you go through these things. So I listen to different biographies and autobiographies of people in their journey. And like I do that, and I've been doing that now. And then them actually sharing their stories, you know, people building billion-dollar companies and all this stuff they go through, because we forget, like, you see the success, but you don't see the hardship and everything that they go through. And it's a great reminder to, like, for me, even like till this day, you know, to not give up and keep pushing and keep pushing. Like, yeah, you hit a roadblock, that's just part of the journey, you know?
I like
so
that.
That's so it's great what you just said, because I mean, even till this day, man.
So the things you guys got to understand too is that you got to understand, whatever your goals and your dream is, the bigger it is, the bigger the price tag. And when I say price tag, people talk about the money. I'm not talking about the money, man. I'm talking about the struggles, the sacrifice, the pain you will have to go through to get that price tag, all right? To get to your goals and your dreams. The bigger it is, the bigger your price tag in life that you have to pay. Because when I listen to, you know, I've seen my mentor accomplish all of this and the other guy accomplish all this. Do you know how many things that they have gone through compared to me? And I said, I want to get here, but I can't even handle this. Right. And then to me, when I take my pain or whatever I'm going through and I compare it to somebody else that gone through a lot more, I was like, dude, okay, I'd rather this, right? I said, I'd rather have mine problem than someone else's. And I heard someone said, when you take your problem and you throw it in on the table compared to everyone else's problem, I promise you, you will quickly chase to get your problem back. And that's what it is, and that's what did it for me. So I started to see how bigger their issue, their problem is, and how they're able to go through it. So I look at mine and it makes mine so small.
Right. And it's like, you know, no matter what it is you're going through, somebody else got it worse. Trust me. Somebody else got it worse. And it's, you know, and it's important what you say, like you say the whole step that you go through it. You got to go through it to get to the other end. You ain't going to it, you're going through it. So don't go to it, just go through it. And that's just part of the journey.
Yep. And I think I also heard this is like, They said God always give their strongest soldier or something like that the toughest battle, right? So the thing is, you guys gotta to understand that it's only happening to you because you have something inside within you that you can overcome it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be given to you. So
yes,
it's Sandy.
yes,
Sandy,
exactly.
amazing story. Okay, now Sandy, let's get to the real estate. Let's get to the real estate. So, so what is going on with your business right now? Talk to people, because last time when we were on the call, you talked about wholesaling, mobile home, and all of that. That's something to talk about.
Oh my gosh, yes. So I guess you could say I stumbled upon mobile home with Lynn, or it stumbled upon me. So what happened was I used to just totally ignore mobile homes, like the leads, that would randomly come, and then I'm thinking, well, who wants mobile homes, right? And I certainly was thinking with just one mindset that most investors are, they're probably not going to deal with mobile homes, because like even now, like it was a while ago, just frame home there, you got the block homes, the block structure homes, and frame homes, especially here in Florida. Before I moved to St. Pete, I used to have the same mindset. So this is important here, because sometimes your mindset, if your income is not growing, it might be because you're not, open up your mind to what could possibly work. So like for a long time, I used to think about, well, most investors are not really interested in frame homes because of termite issues, damages, repairs is going to be this. Well, there are some investors that don't like them, that is for sure, but there's plenty buyers for frame homes. So even though I knew that, eventually I learned that, because it used to blow my mind, like way back in the 2004, 2005, when why would somebody go pay 90 grand for a frame home? That's what I used to say to myself. It's like, but, and then you can get a block home with more bedroom, more space, for the same price here in Tampa. Why would you go there and do that? So the same thing for me was when I was thinking about mobile home, like why would somebody want to pay that for a mobile home? So I closed my mind to the idea. And then, so being in Tampa though, over time, because I had been in Tampa for, up until 6 months ago, about 20 years, right? So for a long time, and I've seen how the market get more and more saturated as you go. And so I started thinking to myself, you know what? Like basically, if you want to eat, you're going to have to spread your wings. You know what I'm saying? So I started going into the different counties and the surrounding counties. And then from there, looking for ways to be different and generate more leads again. I said, okay, I know it's like some investors, they will do condos. But they're not just going straight solely after condos. Like if it's a great deal, they'll jump on it all day, but they're not going solely after it. So I started going solely after that, and that worked, right? And then but it needed more capital. So then I get like, then one day the mobile home came in my lap. Now, here's the thing. I used to be like, nope, we're not do mobile homes. We don't do mobile homes. But then one day, as I'm really started thinking outside of the box, I said, well, why don't we give this mobile home a try, right? So I did that, and the assignment fee, I think it was either 10 or 13,000, but it was over $10,000, right? And I was like, oh my God, we need to do mobile homes. Okay. And so after that payday, I started just marketing straight mobile homes, and we still get home, other property leads, but I just started going straight for mobile homes. And then I realized I was leaving a gold mine on the table, this entire time. And when I tell you, like, the assignment fees are just as good, I mean, the assignment fees are just as good, So I started marketing mobile homes. First, I started in the local counties, and then I started expanding because, there are only so many of them. You know what I mean? So now I'm marketing throughout the entire, into all of Florida. I'm getting ready to go into Texas. Texas has a lot. Alabama. Basically, I'm going to hit all the mobile home states, but, strategically. You know what I mean?
I love it.
But yeah, man, like the assignment fees are just as great. There are mobile homes on land. For the most part, so you still go through the same title process with the title company. And then we do have a gentleman, Tim, that he does the trailer titles. So, but overall, it still go through all the title process. But what blew my mind though was, man, like the people that love mobile homes, like they love mobile homes. It's like there's the group of people that love their mobile home. I'm telling you, I never thought that I would seen so much interest in a mobile home. And it's crazy too, because sometimes we get like some mobile homes that needs extensive repair, barely tear down. And I'm telling you, when I say tear down, my advertisement headline will say tear down mobile home on large lot, like very basic. I don't write all the fluffy whatever marketing that, you know what I'm saying? I don't do all that, but I literally will say tear down mobile on large lot or on 1 acre or something like that, and we will get tons of requests, tons of inquiries. So I'm like, man, this is like, it's crazy, because if I take a regular single family home, I get so many people talking so much ish about a regular single family home that looks that bad, but with like the mobile home, I mean, we get, you know, a couple of people talking crap too, but people are like, they are jumping on it to buy it. And that blew my mind.
Wow. So now, Sandy, so you basically just wholesale mobile home, or do you actually buy and hold them as well?
No, I'm going to start buying and hold them. So far, only been wholesaling them.
Okay. Now, when you buy, are you going to buy mobile home on the land, or you just want to buy the dirt and half the mobile home sits on the dirt? Which means, go ahead.
No, so I'm going to buy the mobile home with the land. For me, that would be more value. Yeah, when I'm buying, yes.
Gotcha.
I'm going to own the land.
I see, because I know there's buyers that buys and hold, but they like to buy just the dirt, and then the mobile home is just from people that bought the mobile home. That way they don't have to, you know, maintain the mobile home, but just basically rent out the dirt, right? Rent out the space.
Yeah, but so here's the thing too, like, so I realized as I started marketing for mobile homes, like for every cash buyer, there's also 10 others who's looking to owner finance. Right. So I can do one of those strategies where I can do maybe like a owner financing type strategy, whichever one that makes sense for that deal, I'll do it. But they will still be in charge of taking care of the upkeep. You know what I mean? So I can still structure it where they're taking care of the upkeep of the property, of the mobile home at least itself, and then take care of property taxes and insurance and things like that.
Gotcha. So Sandy, you only target mobile home now, not stick built. So just mobile home.
So yeah, I just been doing straight mobile home, just trying to scale that up, man.
For how long now, girl?
I want to say if it's not a couple of years, it's getting close.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Dang. I don't think I've ever had anyone on the channel just strictly mobile. So now so people are going to ask, so how do you find them, and where do you get a list, and what kind of list?
So here's the thing. I've been doing just strictly absentee owner, and I've done a couple of mailers where I did owner app, but absentee owner. Now here's the thing, for the longest time up until about my last mailer, I actually did some inherited lists, and I did vacants and things like that. And actually the leads are actually coming in, so I'm getting a lot of leads with those. But I've just been doing absentee owner. Now I used to do it where I did like high equity or free and clear, but I've just eliminated that from the criteria. You know what I'm saying? I've eliminated it because I still got so many leads where, you know, they owed money, but I was still able to make those deals work. You know what I mean? They can owe up to 80% on, you know, have a mortgage on there. So it's just different.
Gotcha. So Sandy, so if they owe even more, so when you're saying that you can make it work, which means you're doing like some kind of an owner contract or something?
So yeah, so it depends. So we can do either a contract with the owner, you take over the mortgage payment, you know, get a buyer in there. So we could do something like that. Or sometimes too, like I'll go up to that high of like loan to value ratio, but then the numbers actually work. And I get tons of leads where the numbers actually still work. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Right. So
I got you.
Instead of leaving those leads out, I add them in now because, you know, we've been able to make them work.
Right. Now,
Yeah.
Sandy, and what is your average wholesale fee with mobile home?
$7,000 to $10,000 average.
Dang,
Yes, but
pretty good.
it's really good.
For
Like
mobile
there's
home.
one closing as we speak for $21,000.
Boom.
Right now, a week ago on the, well, it was like the 26th of June, 34,000, highest one, $34,000. You know,
Dang.
yes, man, I'm telling you. And then
You're killing it, girl.
we get plenty of those that are at 12,000. We get plenty 10,000, 12,000, 14,000, 14,900. We get plenty of those. I've had 17,000. So we get a lot of, you know, a lot of good ones.
Yeah, you're killing it. So
Yeah.
now, Sandy, so where do you get your list?
So listability is where listability is where I get my list. For the most part. Now, my you probably know Eric. Eric also sell lists, so I've gotten the inherited. That's my boy. I've gotten inherited in vacants and stuff like that from him. Text default, you know, I get those from him.
Eric from CG.
Eric Torrente.
From CG.
Yeah, I don't think he's in CG. I don't think he's in CG, but a lot of the investors get lists from him. So
really,
yeah, you know Eric. You gotta know.
I don't think I know Eric. You better hook me up with Eric.
Yeah, I will, man. Like he does skip tracing, and he'll sell you the any list that you want, he can get it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that would be awesome. And for those of you, you know what? I mean, for those of you who also wants a connection, I mean, just hit Sandy up. All right, and maybe she can hook you up with Eric as well, so you can get the list. Yeah. It's all about giving back on this channel, you guys. Now, Sandy, so how many deals are you averaging a month?
So 7 to 10 deals
per month.
Yes, 7 to 10 deals per month. We did 8. Let me see. We did 8 in May. Did we do 8 in May? I think we did 10 in May, and then we did 8 in June. And this month so far, we've already gotten. I think we did 3 last week. We got 3 this week. So by Friday this week, we'll have already done 6 this month. So this month, we probably definitely will go over 10.
Man, I know exactly what to title this video. From Haiti?
Yeah.
From Haiti to making millions. So now, Sandy, are you doing this all virtually?
Yes, all virtually. So it's me, and then I have Heather. She's in the States. She's in St. Petersburg area, right? She's my right hand, man. Let me tell you, I love that girl. Oh my God, she helps me put out fires. I mean, this business is her baby too. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this is her baby. She's my right hand. Anything with the buyers, sellers, if the other, like the VAs, if they have any issues, she get on the phone with them, help them resolve it. She does basically everything, helps me manage everything, help me run everything. So that's Heather. And then I have a young lady in Nicaragua. She does admin stuff for me. Frank does dispo. He's out of Mexico. And then I have I have Jerry. Jerry's in the Philippines. He's my little rock star. He does really good on the lead with the seller. And then your Sandy also does does good.
Man, my girl Sandy is killing it. Okay, so Sandy, I know that we're running out of time. How can people connect? How can people connect with you, Sandy? I know that they're gonna love you because it's such amazing.
Thank you. I'm on IG at I am Sandy Cesaire, CESAIRE, and then my website is IamSandyCesaire.com. And then on Facebook, you just Google Facebook, search my name, and I'm right there.
Anywhere else, Sandy?
That's really it. That's
all
really
right, you guys. I'll make
my door. That's it.
Yeah, I'll make sure I'll put all of Sandy connections right on there so you guys can follow her, connect with her. She's just such a go-giver. I mean, and her story's absolutely blown me away. Sandy, any last word for those that are just starting out, or maybe they've been in the game but they're still struggling trying to get the deal, or or trying to scale up?
Yeah, I mean, listen, you starting out, you on the right channel. Listen to Khang, man. I told you I was a fan, right? Like he's full of knowledge. So you stick and do what he says, you're gonna be all right. But also to just remember, the struggle is in the mind. If you can conquer getting out of your mind, and it's a journey. It's not like you're gonna wake up one day, especially if it's a real struggle. It's not like you're gonna wake up one day and it's like, oh my gosh, you're not gonna have this opposition and these thoughts in your mind, but you overcome those, right? Because you are not your thoughts. So you got to take control. Like, so whenever that negative word is talking to you and telling you what you can't do and all the reasons why you can't do it, then you make a list and tell yourself all the reasons why you can do it. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to get that. You're going to get that. You're going to think about all the closed doors and the why, especially like the why nots. Remind yourself of why you can, and then listen to positive words. Listen to Khang, because he's like giving you the goal. He's telling you how to do the business. You know what I'm saying? Do whatever you got to do. Learn the business, but do. Because here's the thing too. Sometimes you're waiting for everything to be perfect before you do anything. Don't do that, because you'll never get started. So stop waiting for everything to be perfect. A lot of the stuff that you're going to learn by doing it. So the longer you're trying to wait for everything to be perfect, you ain't going to never get started. And the money is passing you by, going on to the person that's ready to take it. So you get started. Take some actions like right now, and then you're just going to learn through the process. Get some help. Listen to Khang, you know what I'm saying? And do what you got to do, man. Do what you got to do and get out of your own head. That's my piece.
My goodness, man. I mean, I'm not going to say anything after that because I think Sandy just pretty much covered. Dropping bombs, girl. So like I said, I brought her on is to empower all the ladies, all the women out there. That feels like, oh, this game is for the men's. Dude, I'm telling you, it's not just for the men's. I've seen many, many girls, many ladies, many women, right, that are in this business, that were in the mastermind, that are crushing it.
Yeah.
Because they're a goal-getter. G-O-A-L, not the other one, all right? They're a true hustler, all right? Anyways, you guys, thank you so much, Sandy, for your time jumping on and sharing your amazing stories. If Sandy can go from Haiti all the way till here, man, you guys, come on, man. Shit. What is your excuse? There shouldn't be none, all right? Anyways, if you enjoyed this, you guys, please do me a favor. Give this video a like, a comment, and a share. Really appreciate you guys so much. If you haven't followed me on Instagram, hit me up on IG. Go to Khang, Khang, like a period, WTM. Until next time, you guys, thank you. And Sandy, thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Bye, Sandy.
Bye.